What's up, guys? How's it going? It's the Chase Elliott fan, and we have another video back here on this channel. This video has to do with the next-gen car test that just happened Wednesday and Thursday at Homestead Miami Speedway with Erik Jones as the driver. We also have some silly season news to go over today, as some confirmed ones and one really big one that is not quite confirmed, but I will go over today since the sources close to the driver have almost confirmed it, I should say. But let's start with the next-gen test. So at Homestead Miami Speedway, it is the third next-gen car test that they have done. The first at a 1.5 mile track, Erik Jones' first time driving it. The first time at Richmond, they had Austin Dillon, a Chevy driver. The second time, they had Joey Logano, a Ford driver at Phoenix. And now at Homestead, they have a Toyota driver, Erik Jones. Now, this was crazy. So, look, they had this video of him inside the car. It was an in-car camera. You could see him going through the gears. First of all, it was crazy. We already knew it was a sequential shifter, so it's basically back, forth, instead of the normal H pattern that pretty much they've always had and everything else has. Besides IMSA, they have the paddle ones. But that's pretty much, that's what they're testing there. They also still had that rear diffuser, but inside, you could see Erik Jones go up the gears with the sequential shifter up into 5th gear. Now, I thought they said it would be a 6th gear, but according to what this video was, this test, they were testing a 5 gear, a 5 speed. So that's really interesting. That's crazy. And you could kind of see it here, but on the splitter of the car, I don't know if this was just to measure the ride height or something to do with side drafting really well, but they had this little notch, this little wing, this fang coming off of the splitter. And at one point you could see it on the right side, one point you could see it on the left side during the test. So that was really interesting there. And it was kind of cool because this was kind of the first one open to the public, because people who had tickets for the March race in Homestead could go to this at a certain amount of grandstands in there. So that was pretty interesting there. The engine was definitely kind of a different sounding. They were testing the one lug nut. They were testing a bunch of stuff, and it was really interesting to see this car on track for the first time on a 1.5 miles, going up to speed. Erik Jones said it was really weird they tested a restart at the end of the day on Wednesday with that new gearbox, and he said that was weird because the only thing he's ever driven besides now was that normal H pattern gearbox. So yeah. Now let's get into some of that small silly season news, mostly to do with the lower series, mostly I should say. Let's start actually with the biggest one, and that is Parker Kligerman will not be returning to Gaunt Brothers Racing in that number 96 car in the Cup Series next year. This is just all but confirming that Daniel Suarez will be going to that car next year with backing from Coca-Cola, maybe a little from Aris. Now, we still don't know if Suarez goes there. It's all but confirmed, really, but we don't know if it will be full-time or part-time. Lots of them are pointing to full-time, but they don't even have a charter yet, so we'll have to see what's going on there with Front Row giving that charter to the third Rick Ware car, so we don't really know what's going on there, and seems like Daniel Suarez will be going to the Cup Series, staying in the Cup Series in that number 96 Toyota. Means he's going back to Toyota for Gaunt Brothers Racing. Really interesting. Kligerman was out. He did like 13 races in 2019 for him. They never did a full season. That's why they don't have a charter. And they had DJ Kennington in years past as well. So we will have to see how this works out. It's a back marker team. I kind of wish Suarez went to RCR Xfinity. I wish his sponsors allowed him to do that. That's a championship team, even if it's in a lower series. I mean, I know you're not going to get as many, viewers seeing your sponsor, but still, come on. At least let the guy be competitive. But poor Daniel Suarez, I must say. Natalie Decker. More news here. Natalie Decker, Natalie Rucker, whatever you want to call her. She will be going part-time in the NASCAR Gander RV and Outdoors Truck Series in that number 44 Chevrolet Silverado for Nice Motorsports. We don't have her schedule announced, but we do know that she will race the first race at Daytona in February, the season opener. And, I mean, that's nice to see there. I hope Nice has lots of trucks. Nice is a competitive team. That I don't know if that 44 44 will be, because, I mean, 45 with Majeski will. So that means that 44 confirmed has 3 drivers that will be splitting it up, including Carson Hocevar, Natalie Decker. Carson Hocevar will be doing 9 races. Natalie Decker, and last year's full-timer in the 45, last year, now in the 44, part-time will be Ross Chastain. All right, so here is this unfortunate news. Joe Graf Jr. will be going full-time in the Xfinity Series in the number 8, or I mean, excuse me, 08 for SS Greenlight Racing. Why is Gray Gaulding not there? I know it's because of Joe Graf Jr. having his dumb sponsorship from Eat, Sleep, Race, but this dude can't even qualify for races in RCR Xfinity equipment. That's how slow and bad this dude was, and they're choosing him over actual real talent. The first car out of the playoffs last year, Gray Gaulding in that car. I know he doesn't have sponsorship, but, you know, why do you gotta give Joe Graf Jr. This ride? He said one of his goals possibly make the playoffs. You're gonna run 30th every week instead of running possibly 15th with Gray Gaulding last year, but with the less competition, will be if they had Gaulding, he'll probably be running 10th every week. So dumb Joe Graf Jr. Patrick Donahue will be his crew chief. He'll have the same spotter he had in ARCA, just skipping trucks, and you know, he'll still be an intern for RCR, so, you know, RCR's still there. It's still a Chevy team like he's going to, so, it's so dumb. Auto Owners, the sponsor, Martin Truex Jr., has signed a contract with him and Joe Gibbs Racing through 2021, so that's nice to see there. We'll be seeing Truex for quite a little longer, you know, I guess I could say a little longer, maybe longer than that, you don't know. That's just how long their contract is for now. Schluter Systems has re-signed with Corey LaJoie for an expanded partnership and expanded sponsorships. That's nice to see there. Their paint scheme's really cool with the flames on it. That's really nice, awesome there. I really like it. I kind of like their paint scheme from 2019, but this one is way better. They're already making a die-cast of it, so that's pretty awesome to see there. Colleague Racing in the Xfinity Series has announced their crew chiefs for next year. Ross Chastain will have Bruce Slicker, which was the race engineer from RCR, or from SHR. Before that, he raced for RCR. And Haley will have Alex Yance, who he had last year, who was the crew chief for 14 races because Nick Harrison died before he could do the whole season as the crew chief of Justin Haley. So that is all the news we have today. Next gen test, really interesting, with Eric Jones at Homestead Miami Speedway. Engine sounded like down a tone, like it seems like the horsepower is still like 550 or something like that. You know, you could tell by the lap times almost. Eric Eastep timed it with a stopwatch. Yeah, it sounded weird on that one video, but like IDK player was actually at the track for the test. The videos of it, the car still sounded different, but not quite as different as it sounded on the other video than the normal car, so we will have to wait and see. This car is set to debut in the 2021 Daytona 500 and so on, and don't worry about the engine too much, because in 2022 or 2023 and beyond, they will have a new engine package, probably with electrical things. And yeah, so thank you so much for watching, guys. I really, really hope you enjoyed, and bye-bye.